Welcome back to Millie Cockapoo. Today's video is going to be 5 cons to owning a cockapoo, so why they might not be the right breed for you. First, cockapoos are prone to allergies. This is to allergies of all kinds, such as seasonal, outdoor, food and skin related. Depending on what the allergy is, then they may have to have either a special diet or go on medication. This can become quite costly over the years. Some of the common foods that they tend to be allergic to is chicken or grain, but each dog is different, and just because cockapoos might be prone to allergies doesn't mean your dog will get allergies. Next, cockapoos are a social breed and they like interacting with people, but they need socialisation from an early age, otherwise you can experience behavioural problems as they get older. This means socialising them not just with other dogs, but with people of different ages and in different environments. So taking them to places that have different noises, different sights and smells to just desensitise them and not make them as scared, and then they'll go into the world full of confidence. Things that you can do from an early age, so when they're under 12 weeks old and they can't go out for a walk because of their injections, you could take them on a carry me walk, so you carry them and then walk them around your block or estate. And then once they can go out for walks, and take them to as many different areas at different times of day that you can, and just sit on park benches and let them experience the area. What I did as soon as Millie could go for walks, we actually went on a 2-week holiday and went to loads of different areas, and she met people of all different ages, she met loads of different dogs. She didn't always go and meet the dogs, so she'd realise that not every time she sees a dog means that she goes to play, and she got to see different sights, smells, environments. So we went to the beach, into towns, into villages, to cities, went into woodlands, into fields, all different environments that she'll come across, and now it doesn't faze her. And she also got to experience different things like traffic and bikes, horses, you name it, whatever you might come across in the outside world. And again, while they're under 12 weeks old, you can also be doing stuff in the house. So turn on your hoover, kettle, playing different sounds on TV, playing YouTube videos that are for desensitization. Before bonfire night, I played firework noises quietly throughout the house, and over time gradually built them up, so Millie wasn't bothered by the fireworks. You could also do the same with thunder or rain or traffic noises, or before they can go out, or if you know that you can't take them to the places, then play the noises in your house just so they can get used to it. But you'll find by doing this from an early age that they'll be a lot more confident going out on walks and in the outside world, and you will avoid any major behavioural problems that the breed is prone to if they don't experience that socialisation at a young age. Number 3, and this is something that I mentioned on a few of my past videos, is they are high maintenance in terms of grooming. In terms of fur, Millie needs to get brushed every day. She can go longer without being brushed, but I find it's easier to brush her every day as it reduces the chance of matting, and she's not a fan of brushing, so I personally find it easier to brush her every day and to prevent any matting from occurring than to leave her a couple of days and the potential of the matting being there. You need to be taking them to the groomers as well regularly to cut the fur because it gets so long. So Millie goes approximately every 8 weeks, and then during that I am brushing her. She's having a bath maybe every 3 to 4 weeks, unless she gets really muddy. And I also have to trim the fur around her eyes, otherwise she definitely wouldn't be able to see by the 8-week mark. You also have to clean the ears on a regular basis. This is something that will happen when they go to the groomers, but because of the dangly ears, they're prone to ear infection, so you also need to clean their ears at home. You also need to groom their nails. Again, that's something that your groomers and maybe even your vets will do, but if they get long in between, then you need to trim them. And you also need to brush their teeth on a regular basis as well. And you also need to clean their eyes. So because of the long fur, you'll notice that they'll get a build-up of sleep in the corner of their eyes. And especially if you've got a light-haired cockapoo, if you don't clean that on a regular basis, then you'll notice staining on the fur. That's why I clean Millie's eyes every day, to prevent any staining, to prepare for a lot of grooming. And it's not just the brushing and taking them to the groomers. There's a lot of stuff to be doing in between. Next is something that a lot of people already know about the breed, and it's the prone to separation anxiety because they love being around people so much. Again, this is something you need to work on from when they're very young to reduce the likeliness that they will get separation anxiety. It's still not guaranteed even if you are working on it from day one. But you need to be giving them time alone from day one, just 5 minutes, and gradually build it up so they get used to not having you there all the time. And even then you might still have problems. So for example, from the week Millie came home, I had no choice but to leave her on her own at times. So if I went for a shower or nipped to the shop, she had to get used to being on her own because there's nobody else to look after her. That means she's now fine being left in the house on her own, but she doesn't like me dropping her off anywhere. So that's something that we need to work on, is her realising that if I take her somewhere to like the groomers or the vets, she will be fine. And I don't think lockdown has helped this either, because it's meant that every time she's gone to the vets for the first time or the groomers for the first time, it has had to be a I've dropped her off and I've gone. Whereas before lockdown, I would have been able to stay with her for like her first injections and things like that. So I think lockdown's had a negative effect on her separation anxiety in terms of me dropping her off places. But the work that I did at home, making sure that she would be all right, left alone, has definitely paid off. And the last con to owning a Cockapoo is that they are a high energetic dog. This means they need both physical and mental exercise. So you're going to have to be taking them for about an hour's walk every day. That time could be split between 1 or 2 walks. And it might even need to be longer depending on the energy levels of your Cockapoo. And you also need to do a lot of training with them. They are incredibly intelligent dogs, and that means if you don't do any mental or physical exercise with them, they will become very mischievous, and then you'll have a lot of issues that you could have prevented earlier on just from training them from a young age. So you need to be willing to spend the time each day doing some form of mental or physical exercise. And if you haven't got the time to dedicate to that, then a Cockapoo isn't the right breed for you. If you're looking for a similar breed to a Cockapoo, but you don't want one that's as energetic, then a Cavapoo's a good breed to go for, because they're slightly smaller, and the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is a lot more of a chilled out dog compared to a Cocker Spaniel, which are high energy dogs. I hope this video helps you if you're thinking about getting a Cockapoo. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the breed, and I couldn't imagine having any other breed now, but every breed has its negatives, and these are just a few of the Cockapoo. And some of these negatives can easily be positive. So for example, the energy level, the reason why I got a Cockapoo was because of the high energy, but it just depends on what you are looking for in a dog. If you're after more of a lap dog that you're not going to have to take on walks every day, then maybe a Cockapoo is not the best breed for you. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you don't already, then please subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you'll be notified when we post a new video. Please go and follow us over on our Instagram at Miniature Poodle, and we will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye! Millie, what are you doing? No. I don't know.